Last big day here, man. Try to find some touchdowns, get some good stuff in, and then stop them from scoring on defense, special teams. So we're in a good place, man. It's been a good 3 days or 2.5 here, going on our third day. So guys are locked in, ready ready to go. Questions?
I asked a couple players about this over the course of the week, but we all know what happened obviously in the playoffs last year. How much is that still a sour taste in your mouth? Is it motivation for this week at all?
Look, there may have been a place and time, but it's like, man, we just all want to win. I mean, we just lost, and that more than anything, you want to do everything you can to put in all the work you can, do all the little things right, check all the boxes to give yourself the best chance to come away with a win after a loss. That's what I'm thinking about right now. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't want to have another loss, and I know our guys don't either. So we got to be ready to go, though, man.
When you look at their defensive tackle combination, just how much difficulty can they give teams? They're stout in there, but they play on the other line of side.
Good players, man. Yeah, those guys they can push the line of scrimmage, and they can edge you too. Like Payne, he can do everything. He can play the run, he can get an edge. He's quick, he's strong, he plays with leverage. Kinlaw's a big man. I mean, they got a stable of those guys over there. So yeah, I think it's one of the strengths of their team is that D-line. So they can make it difficult. But there again, I like our matchup too. I like our O-line, and I know they'll be ready to go.
When you're in a little bit of a lull offensively that you are right now in this last 3 games, how much does your role change, and I guess being involved in the game planning aspect of it, or maybe even stepping in and making an occasional play call?
Well, I think it's everything we do offensively, we do together, and so we all have ideas, we all have input, and we all come together. It starts with, a lot of times it'll start with something and it grows to something else because of another coach put an idea on top of what was somebody else brought up. So that's all we think about and talk about, man, is how do we become more efficient? How do we help our guys, right? Just find their rhythm. That's all. We just got to get a little rhythm. We find our rhythm. We get some early first downs, man. We get some explosives, and I think of it a little bit like you're trying to get that fire started, and it's smoldering, and it's just smoke, and you see some embers, but you can't get it lit, and you just need a little oxygen. So that's what us as coaches, just give them a little oxygen, and they'll do the rest. This thing will go, and so that's what we're charged with. So, I like our plan to this point, and we all got to do our job.
I've asked a few of your assistants this week, just with the execution, it's not one guy or 2 guys. It's kind of just one guy here, one guy there, one guy there. Every play's got just that one piece that's falling apart. When it's not one thing to focus on, it's just kind of a bunch of small things. Is that more or less difficult to kind of get right as a coach?
Yeah, I think that there again, everything, man, it's all encompassing. It really does take everybody. And you'd be shocked by man, you tweak one little thing. I'm telling you, you tweak one little thing, and all of a sudden it just cleans everything up, and it just takes off. And the knock in the engine, it's gone. So it's not. It can appear to be, it's not as bad as people think it is. And it really doesn't take much, just a little tightening here. I really believe that. I know you've been hearing me say that for 2 weeks. I got it, but it's coming, man. And we just keep I told the guys, and they know this, man, I've got a million ideas. And I believe it's going to work this week. And if it doesn't, then I've got another idea. I've got plenty. All right, so we'll get this thing going. But I trust these players, all right? I like the plan. We got to do our part as coaches and get them ready and make sure they have a plan that they can win with, and they'll do the rest, man. They'll roll.
Do you have an example of like a little tweak like that has worked in the past? I guess it seems a little abstract from my point of view.
Say it again.
I was just saying that it sounds kind of abstract from my point of view. So if there's like an example of just a little twitch that.
Well, the only thing I'd say, part of it could be with the way the game is called. It could be maybe rhythm of how you call it. It could be what you go to. It could be who you're trying to get involved. I hate to give away a plan. That's. And I got it. I understand what you're asking too. It's like I don't get. But it can be a number of different things. It's about as good as I can do for you right now without giving anything away.
Have you been surprised at all of some of the issues on third down? Because you guys are explosive. You've been so good. You're one of the top scoring offenses in the league. Has it surprised you when you've taken a look back at it?
Well, of course we want to be better. We expect ourselves to be better. So, surprised. None of us felt like we should be where we're at. That's not us. We believe we can be better. But there again, it does. It takes every one of us, man. It takes every one of us. So, we got to be able to give them guys something to work with. And then, we got to get early momentum, man. We all got to do our part early, man. We can't have a one guy here, one guy there, something. We just, and honestly, when we're playing our best ball, those don't show up. They rarely show up where we had one guy's out of place or something's not happening or we didn't do our part as a staff. So, man, it really is. And once you find your place, you find your rhythm with what this 2025 Detroit Lions offense will be humming.
I don't know if you can take a step back, but I figure if somebody just woke up from a coma, they might think you guys were 2-6 instead of 5-3. You're still half game out. Right? All these questions are negative and fan reaction.
No, I know. I kind of like it though. I mean, nobody likes but it's good to be a little bit of an afterthought again. It's nice. It's like, hey man, all good. There's some teams playing good football and, we're whatever. And that's all good, man. This is good. We'll go about our business over in the corner and, get our stuff right and come out humming. So it's good.
When was the last time that it felt like that for you? Would that have been 2022 or,
You mean just as far as
as far as kind of operating in the shadows of the NFL?
Well, here's what I know where that's going. But I think more importantly, this does not surprise me. This does not surprise me because I told the team before it started, and reality is when you win 15 games, you only lose 2 in a season, then boy, it's going to be looked at different when you lose a game. And then surely if you lose more than 2 games, you only lost 2 last year, so you lose 3. Oh, shit. What's going on? So I told our guys to be ready for that. Hell, there's a chance we may lose more than 2 games this year, guys. And that doesn't mean anything. We could be a better team. We're going to, by the end of the year, you're a better team than you were with 15-2. And I don't know what that record is, but that's a real thing. So, and I think that's going to happen.
Well, injury things. Pascal, you got him back a little quicker. I think maybe you anticipated based on comments last week. What have you seen from him on the practice field in terms of when he might be ready? And then I know DJ Reed could have came back this week. Clearly not ready yet. How far away do you think maybe he is?
Well, Pascal, and I kind of dropped the ball on that one because that was literally after we talked about that. I think I went up to my office like, hey, Pascal's ready to go. I was like, what? Okay, that's great news. So that's my fault, but he looks great. There's, as you would expect, a little bit sore, but he got a really good day on Wednesday, did a little individual yesterday. We'll probably we won't have him practice today, but then he'll be roaring next week again. But very much like Mac, he was in there, on Wednesday, tearing it up. So really, pushing our guys, which is good. He's ready to go. He misses it. It's been a while. So looks good. So yes, we've started his clock. And then Reed's doing well. I don't know if I can give you that timeline there again. I'd say early December, somewhere in there, but he's looking good, getting better and better.
Dan, you guys have had offensive stretches like this before, mid to late 2023, and then you were playing maybe your best ball ever down the stretch into the playoffs. Do you remind your players of that, yourself of that, when you're going through a little lull like this?
Honestly, I don't make too much of it. I try to stick with what we need to fix. What's wrong with that? What's going on? Why are we, let's just focus on what we need to focus on, man. Let's work on our fundamentals, all right? Let's work on the way that we set, man. Let's work on our landmarks. Let's work on our get off, man. Let's work on our progression. Let's work and just hone in on the little things because that'll clean so much of this up. And if you get better at what you're doing inside your job, it makes the guy next to him. It elevates his game. And then all of a sudden you start getting confidence. You get your confidence back. We're starting to play good ball. I really trust this guy again. Blah, 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 blah. And then the fire is lit. So, that's really kind of what I think about. And ultimately, at the end of the day, as the head coach, man, I just want to know we've got the best team. We have the best version of our team by the time we hit the year. And I'm talking about team, offense, defense, special teams, because that's what wins in this league, man. It's hard to win on one side of the ball totally. So it takes all three phases. And I like where our defense is at right now. Always things to improve, but Shep's doing a hell of a job. Those guys are, I think, are freaking playing at a high level right now. And special teams, that was an outlier last week. We got to come back, be ready to go. This unit, by the way, is really good. Washington, I think they're probably the top unit in the league right now. I mean, these guys are humming. But it's a great test for us that we're ready for. And then offensively, man, we got to do our part. Offense has got to pick it up and get back to what we were, and just get more efficient. Plain and simple, more efficient. First downs lead to explosives leads to touchdowns, and so forth, so on and so forth.
Dan, in the NBA, sometimes you hear coaches and players talk about if another team loses their best player, the motivation or what they let down just a little bit. Does that translate to this sport at all?
I mean, I think it's a lot harder for that because there's so many guys. You lose one guy, you got another 10 that are on the field that can really alleviate a lot of that pressure. NBA, man, you lose one, and all of a sudden, that's significant when you're only dealing with, those 5 that are on the court. So I think that has more of an impact. Is it a gut punch? Can it knock the wind out of you a tick? Yeah, it can. But I think you can get over that too.
I think Decker and Sewell both trending to play.
Yeah, I think they're doing well. Honestly, Decker practicing today, but he looked good yesterday. Sewell looks good, so it's good.
Cool. Thanks.